In this video, we're going to talk about collected data. So collected data is another section in Slurpit. And if you run your plannings, the result of those plannings would appear in the collected data section. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to choose one of the plannings. Again, this is separated by each planning. So the art planning has a different collected data entry or section, as well as the other plannings. For example, I'm going to choose maybe ARP. And if I go here, this is the page related to the ARP planning for collected data. Here you see a bunch of entries because I have run some plannings, some ARP plannings. Here you see unique results. So currently what you see here is unique. Every entry here is unique. So you might say we have 3 R1s here as well as 3 my routers. So how come they're unique? The whole entry is unique. The combination of all these columns that you see, hosts, IP addresses, and so on, that's unique. Meaning we might have R1 here and here, but the IP addresses are different. Or something similar. We might have similar IP addresses, let's say 31.254, but the host names might be different. I actually have something here. This one 31.1, 31.1, but the host names are different. So this will only show me the unique results. I can go to historic data, and in historic data we can see results that are not unique and duplicate and even repeated several times. For example, here we have R1 31.1 as well as we see here. So another thing about historic data is that we can pick a date range like that, and we can filter only the results for today or yesterday, or we can also give it a custom range and the other ones that you see here. You can also search for or filter based on host names or IP addresses or FQDN, and basically anywhere that you see these boxes, you can search for and filter for specific data. We can also rearrange these columns by clicking on these arrows, ascending or descending, and you can do the same with every other column that we have. So I'm going to go to planning. Here I want to show you something. If I go to one of the plannings, scroll down, here in the report columns and in these 2 columns specifically, you're going to see 2 data types. One is IP address, the other one is MAC address. So basically, if this is configured, if you see this here, that means whenever we retrieve an IP address, we also do a DNS lookup to find out the associated FQDN, the associated domain name. Also, we can do the same thing with MAC addresses, and whenever we get some MAC addresses, we can do a MAC vendor lookup to find out what the vendor is. With IP address, we do a DNS lookup. With MAC address, we do a MAC vendor lookup. And this is also configurable. If you click on this pen here, you can configure it, and here as well. You can either configure it or disable it, or basically delete it altogether. Now, the last thing I want to show you is some API actions. I'm going to go to API docs here, and I'm going to get a snapshot of all the plannings. So the description says retrieve latest data for a given host name for all plannings. And I'm going to click on this, try it out. Host name would be R1, and this is the only parameter that's needed. Execute. And we get all the plannings for R1. And since I have already run this planning before, I have a lot of data in this planning regarding R1 only. This is the interface planning, and this is the planning result for each interface. This is a software version planning. Again, the results. And we can also see the ARP planning and the associated result. Now, I'm going to show you something else. I am going to fold this. Now go to planning here in this section, and you see planning /search. So this is an advanced search for planning results. And if I expand this, So actually, before expanding this, I'm going to go back to the previous result, the snapshot, and I am going to grab this one, number 3, for interfaces planning. So the ID for this planning is 3. I am going to again fold this, go back here, advanced result or search, and I want to try it out. So I'm going to put the planning ID here, which was 3. Host name is R1. And I'm also going to remove start date and end date because I'm not sure about the range. I just want to find out all the available results. And basically, this is going to simply result in it outputs all the interface plannings that have ever run against R1. And we know that this is an interface planning because we put the ID and host name is R1. So basically any interface plannings that have ever run against this device. I'm going to execute. We get 200, so that's good. Total number of results is 194. So this can be for different interfaces, as you can see, different commands for different interfaces, and so on. For example, we can have show IP interface for all our interfaces, as well as show IP interface brief for all of the interfaces. So the total would include all of those. So I think that's enough for this video. I will see you in the next one.